Anything can happen on Pawnstars, from crazy fights to unbelievable bargains. But these are the times things got out of hand. Kicking off with this episode, which is sure to give you quite a jolt.
Hey, how's it going?
The episode just starts with a casual conversation between Rick and an old man. But look what he's got! Yes, my friends, you just laid eyes on an 1884 Colt that was used in the Wyoming Range War, also known as the Johnson County War.
Goes with it.
There's nothing like a good book after a good shooting.
That's what I always say.
And not to forget the book that comes with it. I mean, you gotta keep the rare flock together. Rick, as usual, begins his quiz, asked a whole lot of questions before investing his money into something that a normal person would have bought in a heartbeat.
So how exactly did you get the gun?
My father got this from the great-great-granddaughter of Fred Cope.
Are these many questions ever asked while I go to sell something antique? Maybe. How would I know? I've just gone to the shops to buy something, never to sell anything. But wait, it seems like he practiced it the whole night, answered all the questions like a pro. That man did better than the rest of us would do in our lives. Tough college times. Wait, what did my eyes just witness? Rick narrating the whole Wyoming Range War story.
Basically, large cattle barons feuding with really small cattle ranchers. The small guys were stealing cattle.
It felt like a whole history lesson to me. I must say, Rick does have some insane knowledge about antiques. The way he narrated the whole thing was nothing less than an informative history class. Not gonna lie. Moving further, we see Rick's intelligence as he checked all the details provided on the document just like a professional would.
This is a 45 caliber. This is a 45 caliber. It's a 5.5-inch barrel. That's a 5.5-inch barrel.
With this line, when you throw on a personal story that actually ties a cowboy to a gun, that's the kind of thing collectors love. I can see he clearly knows how to hit the proper note.
But when you throw in a personal story that actually ties a cowboy to a gun, that's the kind of thing collectors love.
Without a second thought, the man quoted $55,000 for the gun. What do you think? Are Rick and the old man on the same page? Well, for you to know that, you have to continue watching.
I'd like 55,000.
55,000?
And obviously, before getting such a huge amount out of his pocket, he wanted a second opinion on the matter, for which he called an expert.
Get someone down here, he'll tell me if it actually belonged to this guy.
To be honest, I really don't get it. How can one identify if it's original or fake by just looking at some words written on a piece of paper? Anyway, who am I to say anything?
What we have here, it's really hard to make that connection.
Some facts were served right there. Like clearly, who else if not Rick would know more than for how much something like that goes in his shop. And you know, Pawnstars is all about who bargains best to make the most profit. So let's see who gets to cut the cake tonight. And just when he thought things couldn't get crazier, Rick dropped the price and set his bet to $1,500 and all that effort went to waste right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna be able to do that. I think maybe I'll see if I can maybe get some more provenance.
That was pretty obvious. No one would want to sell an antique for this measly amount of money. Definitely not a very profitable deal. And with that deal went flying Rick out of Rick's hands. But in this next episode, this person walks in with a really interesting gun. But how interesting? You're about to find out.
Yeah, it's like something James Bond would wear.
Yeah, right. You just saw that, huh? But that's not out of a James Bond movie. That thing is as real as it gets.
What can I help you with?
I'm here to sell my ring pistol today.
Well, you know how a gun never stays in the shop for long, be it whatever shape or size. But this thing is something I've never seen or even heard of before. Have you ever seen a pistol ring? Boy, you're looking at it right now. This is something definitely worthy of adding to the antique collection list. Come on, you have to agree with me. Everything about this pistol ring is antique, from loading it to the trigger to its hammer. This thing is a killer. Literally. You know what? If I ever went undercover on a mission, I would definitely carry this cute little devil. James Bond, we just found your vibe. And I know Rick would agree with me too. Yeah, that man seems very particular about the price he's going to ask for that dangerous ring.
I'm looking to get $9,000. I'll use it to buy some of the things I collect more often.
I personally would wear that ring everywhere. It's an all-in-one combo, kind of a hidden treasure who can double up like your personal bodyguard. It's unreal how cool this thing is. But hey, did Rick just contradict me?
Wear them just for fashion.
Damn. Rick has got a good sense of humor, not gonna lie. Seriously, getting hit by that mini pistol ring would definitely hurt your ego hard, man.
It's also seriously a gun. I mean, it would really hurt getting shot with this thing.
And oh, I kid you not when I say that the man clearly did his homework right. He literally asked for $9 grand in the blink of an eye. I mean, that piece truly is a showstopper. But that expensive? Damn.
A $9 grand. They're pretty rare.
So what happened is that the deal took an intense turn, and Rick, being the smartest in this show, had to prove it. So before finalizing the deal, he wanted a bit of expert advice. I mean, that's always better than regretting later, right? So let's see what the expert had to say about this antique pistol ring.
The European gunsmiths, they were making all kinds of little weird things. This is the Imperial Protector. Basically,
Looks like this tiny mean machine has taken down quite a few people in the past. So it must cost a bomb. But let's hear it from the expert himself.
for 11.5.
Okay. Thanks, Tony. I really appreciate it.
Whoa, I never expected that. 11.5K? That's crazy. And just look at the size of that thing. That thing is golden for sure. But as you know, Rick plays by his own rules, and I'm curious to know what he has to offer.
I'll give you $3,000 for it.
No, can't do it.
Okay, so Rick is trying to settle the deal for $3 grand. But bro, that's like not even half the price the seller asked. Do you think the man will accept the offer? For someone who knew a great deal about the pistol ring, I don't think this man is gonna budge. But Rick wasn't ready to give up or give in as yet. So do you think they'd both settle on the same grounds? Who do you think is gonna win this round? Well, let me put your anxiety to rest, for here comes the moment you're waiting for.
As amazing as this thing is, I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
And just like that, Rick missed the chance and saw the extraordinary collector's pride walk right out of his door. But what happened in this next episode is even crazier.
Working with an instrument maker and got really interested with the harmonica.
You know how music instruments can be great collectibles. In which case, what do you think about an ancient instrument that has an emotional connection to it? Does it help double up the price? Well, I don't know about you, but I have never seen a shining gold M Hohner harmonica.
We've all played a harmonica once in our lives.
Right, we have.
And we thought we were good at it.
So for those of you who don't know who Matthias Hohner is, here's a quick history lesson for you. Hohner was a trained watchmaker born in Germany, and his company Math Hohner AG is the oldest and largest producer of harmonicas in the world. If you want to know more about this masterpiece, here's Rick for you. So apparently the watchmaker was so blown away by the piece that this is what happened.
So he saw the writing on the wall, but he was also working with an instrument maker and got really interested with the harmonica.
Rick's knowledge never fails to amaze me. There's no question that he is a master of his job, and his trade skills are even better. But is this going to be a jackpot or a lost cause? Before Rick states his price, he found a problem with the musical piece.
We get in the ballpark.
Okay, all right.
It's plastic, and it's not in the greatest shape.
I don't know, it's not too bad a shape.
The cardboard's coming off.
Oh no, that's going to majorly affect the price of this beautiful piece right here. So while the seller was holding on to a grand $500, what Rick pitched was unbelievable.
Here's $75 for it.
It cost
$75! Wow. I would feel humiliated if I was that harmonica right now. I mean, come on, man, it's not that bad. But what can I say? Rick knows better. And the seller wasn't ready to back up, and even had a genuine reason for it.
$1 to fill my truck up with gas right now. I can't take 75.
I find the man reasonable. The least you can do is compensate his gas. But as you know, there are no emotions involved in business. Rick's not taken aback by anything, and sticks with his price, but he failed to grab the deal. I think he wouldn't mind much though, because the harmonica was plastic, and it was also peeling off in some places. So sadly, the seller needed to go back home with the broken instrument, and he couldn't even make enough money for gas anyway. Next up, we got this interesting thing that you'd never expect at a pawn shop.
The guy just pulled in the parking lot with a boat he wants to sell. So Chum and I...
Yes, it's a freaking boat! What you're looking at is a 1958 Sea Flight Glastron, and this is no common sight, y'all. Rick and Chum came to take a look at the huge and fascinating boat, and it looks like they already like what they're looking at.
57 Chevy, didn't they?
Sure did.
Is it a convertible?
And how can something start without Chumley's irrelevant questions, right? Like always, he was more worried about the boat being convertible or not. Well, Chum, you definitely cannot expect everything to be fancy, okay? Despite that, I can't help but love Chumley's confidence. Meanwhile, the seller has made up his mind to demand a hefty $10,500 for the boat. Let's hope he can make just as much from the master of negotiation. And this time, the item in question was a timeless beauty, created in 1958, standing tall, defying the effects of time. Whoever maintained it surely did it with the utmost care and dedication. Great work right there, but I think someone is already getting busy coming up with the numbers.
It looks just like the 57 Chevy I got for the old man's birthday. It's definitely tempting because
Rick's already deciding how he was going to pitch this look-alike a 57 Chevy.
this Glastron boat is awesome, but boats are tough to sell, so it has to be a home.
Like he already said, boats are money pits. I mean, nobody would want to keep this huge boat in their homes as an antique. Quite rare, as the word suggests itself. But this seller is definitely giving Rick tough competition. With all that USP knowledge he was throwing about, he came in here ready to face the pawnbroking world.
Do you know why?
Because it was a little 17-foot boat.
No, because it was fiberglass. No more wood boats. Wood boats were moving out.
But what happened next was totally unexpected.
10-5.
In an unexpected turn, the owner of the boat bravely revealed a startling price tag, $10,500. Wow, that's crazy. What do you think Rick is gonna do? Will he buy it or break it?
I don't even want to make you an offer. There's too much work that's got to be done for me to make anything.
Did you see that? Rick didn't even make an attempt to convince the donor to accept a lesser price. But that's exactly what the show is all about, expecting the unexpected. But you cannot miss this museum piece that just made its entry into the shop today. A man brought in an ancient coin, a portrait of Julius Caesar from the month before he was assassinated.
Well, I have a coin here. It's a portrait coin of Julius Caesar from the month before he got assassinated.
But before that, quick history lesson. Did you know Caesar was the first living person to be depicted on Roman currency? Back then, this honor was only reserved for the gods, so you can imagine Caesar's position in the society. So you know that having him on a coin is quite exclusive, and any historical coin collector would be yearning to get their hands on this coin.
Would do what was necessary to preserve the Republic. Okay, and no matter what he did in office,
Rick was taken in by the intriguing offer, and his sincerity came through, creating a favorable environment for a possible deal. Rick, though, sticks to his strategy since he was logical. As you know, the man is a smart specialist who always seeks professional advice before taking major action. But let's see what the price on offer is.
how much were you looking to get out of it?
I want $4,400, please.
Okay.
I like this man's confidence and how he's so adamant about the asking price, exactly the way it should be.
The style is correct. Everything is right.
Okay.
It's perfectly genuine.
The expert's analysis is giving us a ray of hope with each passing second. So let's see what the experts have to say.
$1,500
Retail?
retail.
Wait, what was that? $1,500? Are you kidding me? I thought that coin was a big deal. But what just happened? It's ridiculous. I mean, sometimes you can never explain how things turn out to be in the pawn world. Just like this episode where a man walked in claiming to have a 1951 Yankees team signed ball.
1951 Yankees team signed baseball.
For those who may not know, the New York Yankees of the 1940s and 1950s were the most dominant team in baseball history. They won 10 World Series titles only between 1947 and 1962. Including their 5 consecutive World Series victories from the 1949 to 1953 season. However, things have now taken a turn, and the glory remains in history. Coming back to the item in concern, the seller also claimed that the ball had the signatures of around 22 to 23 Yankee players from around that time, and out of all of them, it had the signatures of Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle.
Had about 22, 23 signatures on
The year 1951 holds a special place in baseball history, as it was Joe DiMaggio's final season and Mickey Mantle's first. Also, Yankees won their 14th World Series that year. Buckle up, because this episode is sure to amaze you.
My grandfather went to a game in 1951 with my mother and received
The seller said that it was his grandfather who managed to get this iconic baseball. According to him, his grandfather went to a game in 1951 with his mother and received the autographs from a friend of his that was involved with the team. Well, sounds fair enough to me.
Baseball doesn't really mean a lot to me. It's got some family heritage, but it's a baseball.
I wonder why so many people want to sell something that has an emotional connection with them. But the seller's reason behind selling such an iconic ball seems pretty fair to me.
This would be perfect for the company softball game.
Chumley, I'm fixing to hit you.
Charlie was trying to play the fool, but Benjamin remained unaffected, steadfastly focused on the business at hand. Benjamin saw nothing but the business and got right back into it.
I don't trust this guy. I don't trust nobody, especially when they're trying to sell me.
Benjamin, I can feel you totally. It's not like we don't trust anybody, but it's always better to be sure when there's a ton of money involved. No doubt the expert had to be called in.
I do believe that this is a genuine 1951 Yankees baseball.
Whoa, it looks like there's some good news for the man, and we might see some bills going out of the shop. But wait, don't be sure. You never know when the deal goes south.
I think $3,000 is a reasonable amount for the ball.
With audacity that leaves me breathless, a staggering demand of $3,000 was quoted for the ball. And it's quite obvious as well. After all the authentication and the proof, anyone would ask for that kind of money.
They fired about $800.
But wait, what? Benjamin just quoted $800? That's it? No one would sell it for that much, Benjamin. But he was in this business before most of us, and I assume he'd know better. So these were some of the times deals got out of hand on Pawnstars. So which one of these intrigued you the most? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more such videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, guys.